The following is a special presentation of Fox 8 News and local chapters of the American Red Cross.
Heroes, they're all around us. Sometimes they come in the form of first responders. Other times, they're average citizens in the right place at the right time. I'm Amanda Berry. Some of you may know my story. In the next half hour, I'm going to share with you stories of heroes from across Northeast Ohio, including the very first reunion of me and my own hero. But first up, a Portage County man who helped save a family of 4 from their burning home. It was just a random Tuesday. Eric Peterson was headed to work. As you left your house for work and you're driving down the street, what happened? What do you see?
Kind of looked to the right a little bit, and I'd seen the house, I'd seen smoke and fire come out of the side of the house. I was like, oh man. And then it's like a light bulb went off. It's like, there's people in that house. I gotta go do something. So I ran up to the house and started beating on the door, tried to kick the door down. That didn't work out too good. It only works on TV. And then started beating on the garage door. And it's loud when you're beating on a garage door. And then all of a sudden the garage door comes open. This little girl about 7 or 8 comes out with the dog. And she's crying. She's like, my sisters are in there. And I'm like, oh man. Once I got into the house, the bedroom door was open a little bit, so I ran into that and looked in there, and I guess it was the mother in there. She's sound asleep. And I woke her up and I said, hey, your house is on fire. You gotta get out. I said, one of your daughters is already outside. I was yelling inside the house, you know, hey, is anybody in here? Wake up, your house is on fire, yelling real loud. And then I went up to upstairs. I could see the smoke alarm was buzzing loud, but it was loud in there with the glass breaking and the roar of that fire. He made it to another bedroom, but it was empty. So Eric kept going. When I started going back to that back long hallway, back to the back bedroom, something said, don't go back there. The fire erupted into an explosion. I went back to that first bedroom, opened up the window, pushed the screen out, and dove out through the window. I said, is everybody out of the fire? Did everybody get out? Is everybody okay? I asked her that about 3 times. She's like, yeah, everybody's okay. And then she gave me a big hug, and I don't know if I was crazy or stupid or both. You know, you only got a couple of minutes, between you're gonna make it or you're not gonna make it. I'm lucky for getting in there, getting the people out and getting out of there, because they said nobody ever does that. They usually die in a house fire. I was lucky, they were lucky, and you know what? It all worked out.
So you say you're lucky, but I would say you're more of a hero.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. Right place at the right time for sure. Maybe I am a hero. My wife says I was always a hero, but
Eric says he still takes the same route to work every day. And if the family's out, he stops and says hi. Our next hero is wise beyond his years. He's only 9, but he knows when there's smoke, there's usually fire. It was summer break in Kent. Brandon Watterson was playing outside when he noticed something strange.
It smelled funny, and I was like, maybe it's just a campfire out or something. So I kept smelling it, and it was really close and had a good scent, and I was like, okay, something's wrong. And I went over to look out there, and there's a bunch of smoke coming out of their house, but I thought it was just the washing machine on for some reason.
But Brandon knew better, and he did what any good boy would do. He called his mom.
And I told him to go across the street to his best friend's house.
He talked to multiple people until the 911 call was made, and he made sure that we got there quickly.
They made up to the door where they saw the smoke, forced entry, and fortunately for us, the fire was small.
Brandon knew his neighbors weren't home.
I know they always leave their dog there because they never even really take Chloe anywhere. I just assuming she'd be in there.
Chloe is Brandon's buddy.
I was just imagining like a big fire, and I was like, oh no. So I had to do something.
A few more minutes, I think it would have spread throughout the rest of the kitchen.
So it was only because of what Brandon did that we had such the quick response.
Saved the dog's life, Chloe, and it saved the house from being completely destroyed and that family losing everything. And that's very important. And we recognize Brandon as a hero for doing that.
I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I've seen a lot of bad, but the good stuff is what pushes you through. So this is a great one. This is not a good one. This is a great one.
So this is for you.
Brandon, a hero? Nah. He says he's just a kid who did the right thing.
I felt really happy that I did that and that I saved that dog.
We love Brandon. It turns out his neighbor lit a candle and forgot to blow it out. She wanted to make sure she thanked Brandon for saving her home and Chloe's life. Coming up, barricaded in their basement,
I heard someone screaming, my parents.
the water was rising and they were drowning. How this guardian angel used an axe to save their lives. Hello! Plus, face to face with my own hero for the first time in almost 6 years.
I think there's a girl in that house.
Charles Ramsey and I talk about the day he helped us escape.
Bam, bam, bam. Now that got my attention.
And I finally get to say thank you. I was there for 10 years, and I always wondered, when would I come home? And ask the questions I've needed answered all these years. This is something I've wanted to know the first time that you saw Jocelyn in the backyard. Stay with us. Welcome back. Our next story is about 3 workers from Little Caesars. Their job is to make pizza. But on this day, they went above and beyond to save a choking coworker with security cameras rolling. Gilbert Gainsbloom was in full cardiac arrest. Luckily, his 3 guardian angels sprang into action.
Essentially started to save my life. So thank you so much. Thank you all, everyone.
Carolyn kept her cool and called paramedics.
I'm not a hero. I mean, I did what any normal, caring human being would have done for somebody else who was in trouble.
Nicole cleared his airway and turned him on his back.
Honestly, just human instinct kind of took over to help people. That's what I was raised to do. That's always what I've done.
Brody is a true example of right place, right time. He just learned CPR and sprang into action.
At the time of the incident, I'd only had 3 of my lifeguarding classes at the YMCA. We did the CPR and all that good stuff first. I'm just glad that we did that first, because if that was last, I wouldn't have been able to help at all. And who knows how this would have gone.
Paramedics told the 3 heroes, if not for them, Gilbert could have suffered brain damage or died. Gilbert agrees and is thankful every day.
I've got children, and I want to watch them grow up.
Our next hero also saved a coworker during her first day on the job. Maria Ludwig had just mentioned that she knew CPR. Then she had the chance to prove it.
All of a sudden, she turned around and she said, Maria, didn't you just say you had all this training? I need you now. And I'm like, what? What? Just come now. He's down.
Maria's new coworker was having a heart attack.
His eyes were dilated, his breathing and pulse were almost non-existent, pretty much going in and out. I went right into compressions of 5 cycles, 30 compressions, 2 breaths. I went to reassess him again, and just about that time, EMS showed up and the police officer. By the time they got oxygen and they got him out into the truck, he had already started talking.
Maria said, had she not learned CPR, her coworker might not have made it.
Because of it, he's alive.
Maria made a pretty good impression on her first day. And her story is proof everyone should learn CPR, and the Heimlich maneuver too. Without that, Dave Constantine would have watched his own mother die.
I heard the bathroom door fly open, so I went out into the kitchen, and I was just kind of alert because it was just loud. And I saw my mom in the bathroom, and she was choking. So I went over and I tried to do the Heimlich, but it didn't work. So I just started pounding on her back, and she waved me to keep doing that because it was coming out. So I just continued to do that, and it just came out.
And just like that, at the age of 16, Dave Constantine saved his mom's life. Coming up,
and the main thing was going through my mind, I kept asking God, please don't let it happen today.
An explosion on a highway leaves one man trapped, and another running straight into the flames. And running out of my personal prison. I remember the door was locked. I couldn't get out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was probably so simple. The bottom was
No. Listen to me.
Okay.
You weren't getting out that door.
Charles Ramsey recounts the day he rescued us and created a viral song in the process.
Yeah, give it away. Yeah, give it away.
We're back in 30 seconds.
She said, please help me get it out. Yeah, give it away.
Welcome back. Our next hero made a split-second decision that helped save a life and almost cost him his own. It happened during a drive he makes every day. His regular route that put him in the path of an explosion that shook buildings miles away. Here's his story.
So I was just leaving work. I got on 271 southbound from Cedar Road.
In the heart of rush hour,
When I heard a brake screeching and I looked over to my left, which was the express lanes, and in the right lane, I witnessed a semi hit the back of a utility truck.
with a flash of light, Paul Morawski's life changed.
I saw some flames, fire dripping off the semi. I checked with the driver who got out. I asked him if someone else was in there. He said no. So I proceeded over to the vehicle that was now laying on its passenger side. As I approached that vehicle, a gentleman walked up and identified himself as an off-duty fireman.
Together, Paul and that fireman risked their own lives to save another.
We went to the windshield of the vehicle. We saw someone trapped in there, and eventually we were able to pull that windshield back. The off-duty fireman grabbed him by the left arm, I grabbed him by the right. We pulled him over top of the dashboard. We pulled him away from the scene we thought was a safe distance.
And not a second too soon.
A short time after that, we heard an explosion and we saw both vehicles totally engulfed in flames. We could actually feel the heat from those vehicles. And the main thing was going through my mind, I kept asking God, please don't let it happen today. There was already a stream of fire coming that point and just didn't know what was gonna happen.
How do you feel today about it?
I don't feel like a hero. I'm happy I was able to help save someone's life. I'm glad I was there at that time. As far as a hero, no.
For Paul, this is second nature. He's a war veteran, but he believes anyone should and would help.
And I know that if it wasn't me, somebody else would have been there to help do the same thing. There's a lot of good people out there.
But Paul's story doesn't end there. About a month after the rescue, he got a card in the mail. It was from the family of a young man named Cody Smith, the person Paul helped pull from the burning car. Cody has fully recovered, and his family tracked down Paul and the firefighter to say thank you, and told him he's now a member of their family. And that's a title Paul is honored to hold. Some people are natural-born heroes. Case in point, this next story, when a brave man saved a couple from drowning in their own home.
My belief is just that, if I got the ability to be able to help someone and I have the ability to do good, I should be able to do it, and there shouldn't be any excuses.
His name is John Underwood. He's a father, a husband, and saved the lives of two total strangers. There was a tornado watch and torrential downpour in Cuyahoga Falls. Mike and Michael Ann Hammonds were in their basement when the walls caved in. They were trapped and the water was rising fast. Their kids ran for help and happened to find John, their guardian angel.
I heard someone screaming, my parents.
Underwood and some others found a saw and an axe and cut through the floor. Luckily, Underwood was a contractor and knew what he was doing.
Ripping a hole in the living room floor, kind of knew my way around to be able to do it fairly safely.
They made an opening big enough to pull the couple out, and not 1 second too soon. The house filled with natural gas, so not only were the Hammonds drowning, they couldn't breathe.
Amazing that you were there that day. Right time, right place, right?
It was also very guided. Floor joists can run 2 different ways, and if those floor joists ran a certain way, it would have taken quite a bit longer for us to be able to open up the hole.
Underwood is humble. He says he was just doing what anyone would do. But the truth is, not everyone would. And even Underwood admits, it's nice to feel appreciated.
Just sharing a piece of hope, sharing a piece of goodwill. Get those stories out there.
Not all heroes wear capes. Sometimes they're librarians. Tanya Gardella was working at the Goodyear Public Library in Akron when she came face to face with a nonfiction story for the books.
And I was actually in my office, and a staff person had come and got me and said there was a medical emergency taking place out in the library.
That's when Tanya saw a woman lying on the floor, unconscious.
Her eyes were closed, she was not awake, and I kind of shook her shoulders a little bit, I remember. They asked her if she was okay, and she said, the only thing I remember her saying is headache.
Tanya turned and saw a familiar face, Detective Susan Hackbart, who was working security.
Susan and I were on each side of her.
The women grabbed the AED machine.
We rolled her over on her back, and I had asked another employee to open the pads for the AED machine, and we applied them to her by looking at the diagram on the machine.
It was learn as they go, making every second count.
All we could do at that point was just do the compressions and monitor her vitals through the machine.
The women kept at it until the ambulance arrived.
They came, they bagged her, and they brought her into the unit, and they were able to get a pulse. So we have to give them all that credit.
Their patient was revived at the hospital. Remember, they didn't even know how to use a defibrillator before that day. They just stayed calm and did what they had to do. Coming up, this story is personal for me.
I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years, and I'm here, I'm free now.
It was May 6th, 2013, the day I escaped from my own personal hell. And on the other side of that door was my hero.
And then see this girl, and she just going nuts on the door.
A man named Charles Ramsey, a man I hadn't seen since that day. Now, I'm able to say thank you.
Who is it?
Hello?
My baby. How are you?
And ask him the questions I've wanted answered for almost 6 years. I'm sorry. This is something I've wanted to know. Did you ever hear a baby cry? Stay with us. Welcome back. Throughout the show, I've been highlighting Northeast Ohio heroes. But I couldn't talk about heroes without mentioning my own. It's now been about 6 years since that evening when I regained my freedom. But in the moment, I was so scared, I couldn't open the door. I knew time was running out, and that's when Charles Ramsey walked up. He saved my life that day. I didn't see him again until this reunion.
Who is it?
Hello?
My baby. How are you? It's cold. Come on, get in here.
It is so cold.
Get in here,
Oh,
get in here, get in here, get in here.
Thank you. It was the moment my sister and I thought about for almost 6 years.
I say thank you very much.
Come
I'm your
here.
sister.
How are you?
I'm good. How
How
are
you doing?
I'm blessed. Thank you.
I was finally face to face with the man I remember seeing through that broken door. My personal hero.
So when they say, dude, you a hero, man, good looking now, I say, man, you need to shut up
Really?
and realize who the hero is. The
But you're
hero is
lying.
that girl that got taken from her family and still fought. She didn't give up. She reversed the game. So this is how it's gonna be. Fine, I can deal with this because I know God gonna come get me sooner or later. So I'll play the game, which was smart. That was smart as hell what you did. Then I don't care how many years it took. You knew how to play it. That's what makes you the hero.
I was so nervous. And I don't know why, but I think it's just coming back from everything, and I haven't faced it yet, you know? But it's surreal to sit here and see you. That's when we got right into it. May 6th, 2013. The moment he heard me pounding on that door.
Bam, bam, bam. Now that got my attention. I said, it's a white girl over there, man. Y'all not gonna help her? I got a Big Mac in my hand, so I was on my way to get you. But remember, I got a Big Mac in my hand, so give me time.
So when that happened, I just remember, I think maybe it was the adrenaline and everything that was just going on. I kind of remember everything, but everything was happening so fast. So, from your point of view, what was going on? I remember the door was locked. I couldn't get out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was probably so simple. The bottom was like...
No. I'm telling you, baby.
It wasn't?
Listen to me.
Okay.
You weren't getting out that door.
Okay.
That man, he was well. That's the reason why I had to do what I had to do at the bottom. If it was that simple, you wouldn't have needed nobody's help, babe. To pull that off and to keep it going that long, you're not an idiot. Period.
And how does that happen with the neighbors on the street? I know his uncle lived in that house
Let me tell
beforehand.
you something. I say that house right there next door to me. I say it's boarded up, and it's 100 degrees outside, and there's no air conditioning unit or central air in the back. How did he survive in that house? Well, that's why. He playing the band, and he probably be practicing in there, and he don't like to disturb nobody, so he got the windows boarded up to muffle the sound. I said he's in the band. He got the windows boarded up, so he don't muffle the sound. Okay, I'll let you slide with that. That was one time. 5 o'clock in the morning when he come out, he always saw me. What's up? I was getting on his nerve and didn't know I was getting on his nerve. Check me out.
Oh.
I said, what's up, dude? He said, I got some home cooked food here. I said, yeah. I said, I got a burger and some fries. He said, I tell you what, you want to trade? I said, yeah. I gave him Chris burger. He gave me the food. I ate it. It was good. Fine. A few days later, he goes, how was that food? I go, man, that was all right, man. You know how to cook. That's all right. We went on about our business. I was a guinea pig. That's how smart Ariel was. Since he didn't trust nobody's cooking, just in case y'all got smart and put some rat poison in it. Now, if I dropped dead, he'd have known. One of your girls tried to kill me.
Was he rude to you when he would talk to you? Or did he have an attitude? Did he seem like, you know, he didn't want anything to do with you? He was just had an attitude all the time?
No,
or was
babe,
he nice?
He played me like a fiddle. Me and him done talk so much because of my music. See, this is what I would do.
I know, I used to hear it all the time.
That was me.
I know.
Now check me out.
I was excited because it was rap.
That's right. All day. You know, that's me.
So you nobody, like, I know, gosh, so I know she would cry and he would have to turn the music up at like 2 or 3 in the morning. Did you ever hear a baby cry?
And when I was telling people that, since I had no proof, I say, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm hearing a child cry. I'm hearing, and I ain't just hearing no baby. I'm hearing grown folks. Because this is what I should do, right? My paranoia got the best of me. So when I come home at night, I wouldn't go straight in the house. Because I didn't know if Ariel was watching me or not. So if we're gonna play this cat and mouse game, let's get it on.
Can you tell me the first time, I'm sorry, this is something I've wanted to know, the first time that you saw Jocelyn in the backyard? Or wait, how long, like, was she small? What did he say? Was it that it was his granddaughter or something?
Let me tell you something. Hey, you said a little girl, that's his granddaughter, you say? Leave that alone. I look out there one day, Jocelyn is playing with, you had a dog. Little dirty white little poodle, whatever it was. Cute, but it's a dog. That's Jocelyn's dog, in my head. Ariel is doing mechanical work, whatever he's doing something with them vehicles. Jocelyn is having the time of her life. They in the backyard for hours until it's time for me to go to work. So that's normal, that's common, that's his granddaughter, food, cool. I can deal with that. Because I was sent to that street to get y'all out that house. Ain't no other way to look at that.
I believe it, because I was there for 10 years. And I always wondered, when would I come home?
You understand, baby?
And if it wasn't for you, I don't know if I would still be home. So thank you.
You don't have to worry about nothing. I told you, I got you.
But thank you. Thank you for coming that day.
Thanks, babe. I'm a beast.
Well, I know, but a lot of people, as you know, as we both know, wouldn't have helped. So
Then we lightened it back up.
Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Have you heard that?
I have. I have.
What you think about that? Let me tell you about that.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Listen, that video got, I think, what was it, 32 million views?
He asked me a question. How did you know something was wrong? And I said, when a pretty little white girl runs to a black man's arms, something is wrong.
Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. 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 Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
That was all I said, and they ran with that. I say, is a girl in that house?
I have something for you. It's nothing crazy. It's just a little token of my love.
Girl.
It's just a little token of my love because
I love you.
It's a symbol of, when you open it, you'll see. It's nothing face. Just rip it open. All the way at the bottom.
All the way at the bottom.
I'm trying to trick you.
What is this, my love?
It's a little token of the time. It's a kind of like the time you gave back to me, my life. But you changed the time of my life, and I just want you to
This is
have
LeBron
that.
James stuff right here, baby.
Every time you look at it, you think of us and what you did that day. 'Cause
My goodness.
you're my hero.
Oh.
So.
Girl, go ahead.
I just want to say God bless you.
Oh, I love you.
I love you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So there you have it. Heroes are all around us. Some are just doing their job. Others are just good people. I challenge you to be a hero to someone in your own way. You could save a life and make the world a better place. I'm Amanda Berry. Thanks for watching.